Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 match. It's not going to be a 1 versus 1 though. It's going to be a 1 versus 7. As I'm sure many of you have seen those videos on YouTube of pro gamers taking on 7 elite AI or cheater AI, whatever it may be, in these cool challenges. And I thought that looks like a fun thing to try, to play some StarCraft 2 and see how many of these AI you can take on, as I'm definitely not a pro gamer. So I thought I'd dip my toe into the pool to see how I'd do versus 7 easy AI. I am a Masters 1 / Protoss 1 at best, and that's what I'm playing, which I don't get as much time as I'd like to today. I get my StarCraft fix mainly through casting or watching. So yeah, this is going to be me taking on 7 easy AI. Then the plan is to advance onto medium, hard, cheater, or hardest, elite, then like cheater 1, 2, and 3. So I thought, let's start off by doing that. It's going to be all Zergs for this one. And then, yeah. So we're on Abandoned Parish for the map. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more of it, go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below saying more bots or more AI, whatever it may be. And so for this match, I'm playing Terran. Don't ask me why my username is bugged out, but StarCraft 2 UIs aren't really designed for 1 versus 7 games. Who'd have thought? And yeah. So we've got me playing Terran, taking on 7 Zergs on Abandoned Parish, a map in which basically everyone has one expansion, then there's a few gold bases. And yeah, I thought, okay, this one should be fairly easy to do. The AI easy is definitely not killers. It's designed for players who are new to the game and that kind of thing. And so I thought, okay, I'll just cheese out my neighbor so I could potentially take their bases at the same time. I'm also a little bit worried about aggression coming my way, so I think, okay, I'll build a bunker at the front, 2 racks Reaper. But lo and behold, it turns out that the AI early on, actually easy AI, actually basically goes for roach rushes, which made my Reaper rush a little bit neutered because killing roaches with Reapers takes quite a while. So I'm like, oh man, I'm actually going to have to micro these Reapers a little bit, which I do. However, I actually lose one of the Reapers, which is a bit embarrassing, losing a Reaper to an easy AI. At this point, I'm like, oh dear, what have I got myself into? So fortunately, I do have that bunker at the front. I'm trying my best to macro while this is all going on. Let me just pull up the resources tab so you can we can keep track of how much money I'm floating as I try and do this micro and that kind of thing. So I'm able to kill the roach with the Reapers. However, they're a bit injured, so I pull back out, and then I'm like, okay, this could be getting a little bit serious, so I add on a second bunker. And so the plan was to rush out one of my opponents, then go for tanks for safety. And I start poking on in. I've killed a few roaches at this point. I'm trying to get the last roach, microing, trying not to lose another Reaper in embarrassing fashion. I start to fight the Queen. Fortunately, the in-game AI doesn't really pick its targets too well. Otherwise, I would have lost 1, maybe 2 Reapers killing that Queen. And so I start microing back with the Reapers. However, then easy AI number 2 decides to come on in, and well, all the AIs, they really start moving out to get aggressive on me. There's not too much stuff from all of them, but there's actually quite a few lings for AI number 2 that comes in with its lings, and I'm like, what is going on? So the AIs are actually bros. They came to help their friends out. I'm trying to take a 3rd base. Fortunately, they stop attacking that for a bit as I just pile on into my bunker, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm getting defensive now. I believe at some point I pull more SCVs onto the bunkers as I get scared. My macro isn't perfect. I think I'm starving for gas because Reapers cost lots of gas. I do get my natural base going, and eventually all the AIs go home, as I guess they figured they did their job of saving their teammates. So I'm like, okay, back on in I go. I start building Marines slowly as I need to get something inside those bunkers. As my Reapers I'm trying to use them to attack, to kill the purple AI like I've been trying to do all game. Then The AI bros come on in once again to try and help their teammate running right by my bunker. Thankfully, they're not that smart. Otherwise, they probably would be, well, they'd be able to have gone into my main base and killed me with this many units. But fortunately, the AI is AI after all. It's not perfect. I try and clean up these roaches, clean up everything else. I'm like, oh man, it's 5 minutes into the game and I still haven't been able to kill my neighbor. They're mining minerals that I planned on being my minerals. Those are my minerals. And so I'm like, okay, let's just keep on building up. My supply is outpacing the bots though, as they are, I mean, they're mining a decent amount, or some of them are. However, it's still, they're still just easy AI, so they're not exactly building up to these ginormous armies. Yeah, the AI 3 still stays alive. It actually starts building a Hydra Den, which the compositions these AI goes for is very interesting. My Reapers are killing off all the drones at this point, trying to get some work done. I do have a tank coming down, so I can siege that up to hold the line, hopefully stop units getting by to come and help save purple. And so then I'm just like, alright, third command center's up. But at this point, I'm probably floating a little bit of money. Not too much money, actually. My macro's going all right, as my Reapers are killing the Queen once more. And I'm like, okay, I gotta start killing off these buildings, get this AI to GG out. Because the AI, they actually will ask you before they surrender, like, are you done playing? So I can tap out, and that's actually how you can win against the bots instead of killing all their buildings. At some point, I do manage to get the purple bot to tap out. What's its supply got? It's got an Overseer as its 5 supply. I guess it's building, its supply is in a Queen and the drones that it's building. A Hydra actually pops out as well. I kill those though. The purple AI actually has money though, so technically it could make more drones. I kill the Queen, I'm still working on everything. And then just holding the front with my tanks. And I don't really have a solid plan at this point. But that's something I'm definitely going to have to come up with. AI 3, GG's out, so I finally kill it. I still got to clean out the Zerg buildings, though, so I can plant my own command center. Yeah, at this point, I'm like, oh man, I really will need a better plan when taking on these more difficult AI, because I'm kind of just freestyling it. I go into bio because I opened up with multiple racks. In this match, though, it's just... yeah, it's just not exactly that straightforward. I'm definitely still starving for gas, I believe, at this point, floating some minerals. Need more gas, as I was bottlenecked pretty much the entire game. I got more gas, but I didn't really saturate it. And then we've even got the red Zerg going to be making a Muta. The Zergs are all kind of teching up either on 1 or 2 base. I finished killing off purple, so I send in my Reapers to try and get some drones or work done at Teal's base. However, they have enough units to defend against those Reapers. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? Just got my tanks, building Marines at the front of the line. And I actually start building Liberators, because I do recall from previous versus AI matches that bots have a very difficult time dealing with Liberators sieged up in their mineral line. I think it's partly due to the fact that the AI was pretty much developed already when Legacy of the Void came out, so I don't think they put too much work in countering things specifically like Liberators. They do okay versus them sometimes, but definitely not perfect. So I'm just still macroing up, a little bit supply blocked, as we can see. My money's relatively staying low though, so at least I'm spending my coin as I get it, whether I'm building 7 supply depots at a time or not. Getting up that 4th command center, doing my thing, and just building up with bio. I wanted to go for a drop with these Marines to start putting pressure on the bots, but then I'm making Liberators because I want to try harassing with the Liberators, which I start doing here. Killing off drones, just the 1 Queen to respond to this, as the AI starts making Infestors. But that does mean, since I'm making Liberators, that I don't have many medivacs. But the harassment goes very well in regards to cutting up the Teal AI. I even have a 2nd Liberator out, so the plan is pretty much just to shift queue those into the Zerg bases to harass as well as I can with them. Making more Liberators, getting my upgrades going. That 4th command center is building. I'm getting my gas on the way. My money is creeping on up there, which isn't perfect. You always want to spend your money in a game of Starcraft 2. So I just keep sending out Liberators to harass. There we go. I've shift queued one to try and go behind green space. I think at some point I send one towards yellow or another one of the bots, but I did go for a second starport as I'm like, okay, this is too much. And one thing I'll say the AI actually consistently did was toss down contaminates on my structures, which is annoying and could potentially be a problem playing against 7 of these bots. We do have Pink trying to go for an attack to crack the front, but I even built a turret. I got lots of tanks and Marines holding the line like it's a campaign mission against all these Zergs. I set up a Liberator inside Green's base. I set up one inside Yellow's base. Yellow actually deals with it with Hydras and Corrosive Bile, though, which is quite impressive. Green, not so much. So Liberators are sometimes very effective against AI, sometimes not. I start to drop Teal, and at this point I'm pretty confident. I'm like, okay, the AI hasn't really done too much against me, so I'm not sweating it too bad. Although I am already thinking of like, okay, I definitely got to play a lot more efficient than this. I've got way too many minerals in the bank. I know bio isn't the best, particularly when it's just sitting around. So I do start dropping here to try and kill off Teal, start collecting these Zerg skulls. I even reposition the Liberator on the ramp to stop them getting more units up there as easily. Green tries to be a homie to defend its teammate. Meanwhile, the AI with the highest supply is Orange. However, it doesn't have that much stuff, just some roaches and hydras. And all in all, you can see that this is going pretty darn well for me as far as match number 1 goes. And as far as progression in doing these games, I think the plan probably is going to be to say, go up a difficulty if I win, but then if I lose, to say, reduce the AI count. So say I can't beat 7 extreme AI, I'll try with 6. Until I can kind of refine the strategy and work my way up, whether it's starting at like 4 and then going to 5 and then 6 and then 7. But the goal is to try and eventually beat all of these. I'm able to kill Green. Surprisingly, they GG'd out. I guess they just didn't have any money thanks to this Liberator. They still had a whole base though, so I was actually surprised why Green gave up, but they did. And then I'm just cleaning out the last of Teal's bases. Teal then GG's out, and then I'm just trying to push across the map. However, the rocks make the pathing on Abandoned Parish very, very bizarre. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these kind of wacky matches against AI, go ahead and click that like button. If we can hit 50 likes on this video, that would truly be amazing. And leave a comment down below if you want to see more of this kind of thing. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member or join the Discord, as that's a good way to become part of the community. At this point, I'm just very confident, though. I'm maxed out. The highest AI supply-wise is still Orange, but only 53. So yes, my concern isn't exactly there. And who'd have thought that taking on 7 easy AI is, well, easy. For the most part. Takes a bit of time to clean out all the bases and get the economy going. But at this point, I'm just trying to macro up. I do have way too much money, but I'm maxed out. So it's like, what am I going to do? And I'll definitely have to focus more on the defense, probably be more methodical when it comes to playing versus the harder AI, because 2 bunkers and very little defense early on like I had probably won't cut it. So I'll probably go double gas into like a very quick tank. I'll also change the maps that I do this on for the fun of it. I kill off Yellow though, then it's just time for Pink to die. All the colors gotta die, and Pink does GG. So then it's just Yellow and Red. And I think you guys can see that I've got this one in the bank. But yeah, I may also record, say, my first-person view of this. So maybe if you guys prefer first-person view or prefer the replay cast of it, like I'm doing for this one, let me know. There was a lot of infestors for Orange. I was actually worried they were going to toss off their fungal growth on me, but even if they did, it wasn't going to be that difficult to overcome that. My one Marine is shooting at this Roach Warren. Must be a very surreal experience shooting a building with a gun to kill it, and the building starts bleeding. Orange decides to build another hatchery, so it was actually going up to 3 bases as far as the easy AI is concerned. But then that's pretty much it for everything, I think. Then just waiting for red to die. And red GG's, and that is it. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.